This is really important. You need an audience that likes you, trusts you, and that you understand.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Uncensored Direct Marketing. Today, I have Gia Liossis from Gia Affiliate Management, and we're going to talk about everything from social media to affiliate marketing to transitioning careers to finding new paths in life. And Gia's got it all, guys. I'm so excited to have you on, Gia, and to discuss all this amazing stuff with you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited to be here, especially because we have the Greek connection. So
Yes.
you knew I was going to talk about this, Maria. You knew I had to talk about this. So yes, we do have the Greek connection, but we also have the marketing connection, which is how we got connected to begin with. So it's exciting to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much, Gia. So guys, just to give you guys a little bit of positioning. So Gia and I come from a Greek background, and anybody who's listening, whether you're Greek, Italian, Spanish, or kind of any Mediterranean culture, you'll probably, that like we have a lot of strange things. Our families are very loud. Family is a huge thing. Food is a huge thing. So it's always nice to connect with somebody, but we're also Canadian. We're both Canadian.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're also in direct response marketing. So we had so much in common. So I'm happy that we got connected through a mutual friend. Here, I'll give him a shout out. It's Renan.
Let's give him a shout out. Oh, yeah, it's Renan, because we have to give Renan a shout out and a big, big hug because we love him and for us. So yes. Yeah.
So actually, Renan was on my podcast as well, and we spoke about a couple of things. So I'll link his episode down below, guys, if you want to hear about Renan's story. So Gia, I mean, you're a woman of many talents, and I love how you've reinvented yourself. And we had a chat a couple of weeks ago, and we connected, and I loved everything about your story. So I want to give the audience a little bit of an idea of, how you started out, like what was your career when you started, and then you went to social media marketing, and then now you're in affiliate marketing. So can you give us a quick kind of timeline of how all that went?
Yeah, for sure. So it's interesting. I've had a whole bunch of different careers, so to speak. I started off, we had that Greek immigrant experience where the parents came from Greece. They opened up a store, and honestly, I'm very surprised that they didn't make a restaurant. But we have a lot of restaurants in our culture here. So a lot of restaurant owners, which is really great because we love to go eat Greek food from Greek people. But my parents actually came over and opened a shoe store. My dad was a shoemaker, like a shoe cobbler. My mom worked in shoe factories. That's how they met. So they moved here. Long story short, I was in retail for growing up, like as a child, growing up until I was around 20. Well, actually, in my early 20s, I kind of stopped. Now it's more like the late teens. Graduated from high school, went and did a degree at university, and then went back into retail, into the family business. And the whole point was for me to work in the family business and take it over. What I came to understand is that Greek parents are very, very controlling, and controlling they can be. So I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm going to go and do something else. So I went back to school again. Ended up doing a sociology degree and what really meant to be a sociologist. And it didn't happen. I ended up moving to Greece after I did my master's. And I opened up a language school there, an English language school, which is like a lot of the Greek parent dreams is to move back, do some kind of a business in Greece, and move back and just live a very happy, amazing life in Greece. So, I moved there, opened up a school, lived there for 9 years. The economic crisis came to Greece in 2009-ish, and then it just all fell apart. So I moved back with nothing in my pocket, literally nothing. We had to sell gold to be able to, we had to sell gold in order to get out of there, to even buy a plane ticket to come back to Canada. So, it was very intense. In the meantime, though, in the final year that I was there, I always like to say that I got into digital marketing, because I fell in love. And it's a funny story. In around 2012, I met my husband online while I lived in Greece, and he lived in the United States. So it was the time when social media was really picking up. Facebook was really picking up. So I just, memes were a new thing. Memes were a completely new thing. Everybody was, sharing memes. So I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to share all these memes. I'm in love. I'm going to express my love on social media, like people did a lot at the time. And then I started understanding that I was annoying the people on my own Facebook page. So I decided I'm going to start a page. I'm going to start actually like a Facebook page rather than do this on my own account. And what ended up happening is that it took a while, but this was the time, during Facebook's kind of initial years when reach was high. It was easy to get noticed. Traffic was in just this sweet spot where you would reach a lot of people whenever you posted something on your page. So your followers were actually seeing your content and the traffic was getting to you and your content. So what ended up happening is that the page exploded. I got to the page to around 2.5 million followers.
Wow.
So 2.5 million. And around the million mark is when we started saying, okay, you know what, we can monetize this. It was in the early days of monetization on social media as well. So I was completely unaware that this was even a thing. I was just basically expressing my love for my now husband, who was my then long distance boyfriend. And so it clicked. And I thought, okay, you know what, there is monetization opportunities here. And especially at the time when I was like, I had nothing, I'd lost everything. I'm like, okay, how can we make this work? So my husband created a website for the Facebook page. So I did the marketing opposite of the way people usually do it. I had the social media page and then created the list kind of thing. But what was the really important piece for us was the affiliate marketing that we were doing through content at the time. Yes. So you build this website, we have this hot audience sitting on our Facebook page. And what we did was we were publishing articles, so content, essentially. We were publishing articles on our website, sharing them onto Facebook. And there was a CTA to a product, helpful product, basically at the end of every article. So what ended up happening at the time, because at that time, Facebook was not limiting the reach of links on its platform.
I'm very jealous.
Click, 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 click. Yes, yes. And so it was this incredible experience where our article content was reaching many, many people, and you're looking at like 1 million people on your page. You're getting views you're getting kind of like views from around 30% of your people at the time.
Wow.
Which was crazy. It's crazy to think about now, but around 30% were actually seeing your posts. And then you had your clickers coming in, and then you had a conversion with the sales. What ended up happening, much to my shock and surprise, is that we ended up making enough money just on Facebook to buy our house. So it was incredible.
What year was that?
Unbelievable. So it started in 2013. Yeah. But really our really big year was 2015. And a really big year in 2015 was because of your friend and mine and my client, who has been my client for a long time, Haddad, is one of the masters in this space, in the relationship space. So he had a product called Language of Desire that was just, I think it bought many people's homes, honestly. Like, it was just unbelievable. So we promoted it a lot and in different ways. But it ended up making us so much money that we were able to literally buy our house. We went from, in 2 years, basically we went from each sell my gold in order to buy a ticket to go back to Canada and stay at the Motel 6 for about a month so that we could finally get somebody to rent us a home, to buying our own house within 2 years. That's an unbelievable experience.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Like, it's we're not American, but it is the American dream. And I think, the thing that I love about what you said was, and this is something I struggle with, because Direct Pain at my company, we post a lot of content on Facebook. The reach is horrible every time you put a link. So I'm like, there's actually no point in putting any links. There's like 0 people who see it. We might as well just put content and try to not trick people into going to our blog, but like saying it in so many times and giving so much, like it's so much harder now to get anything out there in terms of reach, just because Facebook has closed kind of a lot of loopholes and so forth. I think they just want people to stay on Facebook. They don't want anybody to take, their traffic away. It's a little bit selfish. We're the ones giving them content, but in the end, they're not letting us get any kind of monetization other than if you pay for it, right? And you're a sponsored ad. So anyway, the fact that you were able to buy your house after you were selling gold to buy a plane ticket to come back is like a testament, obviously, of who you are and how skilled you are. But it sounds like you were marrying both kind of social media and affiliate management at the same time, right? Like, I mean, affiliate marketing, I should say.
Marketing. Yeah.
So I mean, sorry, go ahead. So
I was going to say I was on that side of the equation at the time. Yeah. So I was an affiliate and had the full affiliate experience at the time. And at this point, I've come to the other side. I've come to the darker, no, I'm kidding. I've come to the amazing side of being in the affiliate management space. So it's the opposite of that experience, which has been, we're going to talk about transition here, but it was invaluable understanding the perspective of the affiliate in order to manage affiliates as well. So go ahead.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, first, I do have to mention Chris Haddad, the amazing Chris Haddad. We have a great episode with Chris Haddad. So if you haven't heard about Chris is a master at anything copy marketing related. He'll get you to buy your own shoes again.
For real.
You're like, I have, they're mine. No, buy them again. Sure, I'll buy them because Chris writes that well. So, I mean, I was actually amazed when we were talking and he was telling me all the stuff that he's done and the offers. I was like, wow, like you wrote that. That's crazy. So
he's amazing. Run to listen to that episode right now, for real.
Okay. We'll put the link down below, guys. You can listen to Chris. So, I mean, being able to work with, wonderful people like Chris and great offer owners and stuff like that doesn't happen overnight. So I'm just curious because, it's great you had this awesome path, but how did you get... I'm always curious, like the networking side and how people actually get to meet, the big guys and get into the attention. So I'm curious, how did you start working with Chris? Like, how did you get, close enough to promote the good offers and make money from that?
So honestly, I mean, I think I had a very, very easy path because I already had credibility. Credibility meaning vanity numbers. On Facebook, there were already, I already had a large following, so it was easier. The numbers that were coming, I found Chris's product through ClickBank. So it was really that simple. I was going through ClickBank, trying to find offers that I thought might be great for our blog. And I came across Chris's offers there, as well as other people's offers that were amazing as well. But for us, because of the nature of our page, and the page name, by the way, is called Love, Sex, Intelligence, and the fact that it says sex in it, there were a lot of the followers on that page really interested in how to improve their sex lives, right? It was not just about love and relationships and sex. It was about all of it. But we did have that crowd that was then highly aligned with language of desire as well. So, that's kind of how that happened. But we found Chris on ClickBank, just like we found other people. And what ended up happening and the way it connected with him. And it was a big deal that I connected with him because it actually propelled my career forward. And I will forever be grateful. His team reached out and they said, because we were making a lot of money as an affiliate, his team reached out and he said, hey, let's get on a call, which was great affiliate strategy, by the way. Yeah. Let's get on a call. Tell me, how are you doing this? How are you making your sales? Where's your traffic coming from? And I told him, it was actually his team that reached out. So I told them, and we had a really long conversation about how it was all happening, what I was doing. And then they're like, okay, we need to do this too. So they hired me to do their Facebook, to kind of blow up their Facebook presence as well, which is what ended up happening. And just one day, Chris on Facebook said, I have the most amazing social media manager. She's just crushing my Facebook page. And because he has a lot of people that he knows in marketing, a lot of people saw that post. So it was a recommendation from Chris, really without me even asking for it. And Manny Goldman, who is a really big name of course, well known in the traffic space here in digital marketing,
Yeah.
reached out to me and he said, "Hey, Gia, we've got an amazing launch about to happen at this company that I work with called The Truth About Cancer. You want to save some lives?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, yes, I want to save some lives. And so that's how the ball got rolling. And I started working with people who already had like really kind of advanced businesses, right? Their businesses were already kind of rocking and rolling. They were kind of bigger players in their spaces. And that's how I ended up getting connected with a lot of people. And Manny did a lot of that. Chris did that. It was just, I was lucky. I was lucky in that sense. My work spoke for itself. My work was my credibility, and it caught the attention of people who had, I would say, credibility and some power in the space. And that's how that happened. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think one thing that I get from this, and I think it's something that I'm not good at either, is getting testimonials. Sometimes you have to just ask, like, hey, like obviously not like you do one project. Hey, can you give me I hate that. That's, kind of rubs me the wrong way, because I have, some people who do content and different things for me, and they do one and they're like, hey, Maria, can you give me a testimonial of us working together? I'm like, you literally gave me one article. Like I'm like, I'm not giving you, like, obviously I have a reputation to maintain in the industry. I can't just start handing out testimonials to random people. So, but when you get, let's say, a Chris Haddad, or Manny or somebody kind of that's there, that gives you a testimonial, that could be like a huge uptake in your career, because you have social proof. Yes. Like, social proof is what people want. Like I get pitched all the time. I'm sure you get pitched all the time. Like we get so many offers, especially now, like, because there's a lot of people trying to enter the space. And I'm not saying somebody new is not going to be good, but it's hard for me to decipher now, like who's where. So oftentimes I rely on my network when I need something. I'll contact, people that I know and be like, hey, I need this or I need that. And they'll just refer me somebody, and that kind of gets me to skip steps. So I guess the best advice I would say, listening to you and stuff like that, is first of all, take chances. Secondly, get testimonials when you get work. And even if it's not somebody known, it still helps, right? Like reviews.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like on Amazon, you don't know who's writing that, but you're still reading it because you're like, well, I want to know what this guy says about this or whatever,
Yeah, for sure. And to me, really, and this is going to go into the, the affiliate strategy just in general. And I find that this is strategy in general, just the way people, in the way that we work, right? You need to be connected with people, right? You need to be connected with people, and you need to come to the table with something valuable and with your best effort, right? Yes. So come to the table fully informed and fully skilled in what you're doing, and show the proof of what you're doing. And that's really, people just want results. Right? Clients want results. All of us business owners want results. All of us want results. And so this is really what it comes down to, is like, when you could show the results, you're going to catch the attention of the big, the big wigs, basically, the big players in the space. And the reason why is because they're freaking busy, like they're really, really busy. They don't want to go, like you said, they don't want to go hunting around. I don't want to go I don't want to go through a million posts on LinkedIn. I don't want to go to wherever. I just want somebody to tell me, like, this person kicks ass. They're going to get your results. Just hire them. Here's who they are. So to your point, that's really what people are looking for. And that's why we look to our networks, and especially company owners who are so busy, way busier than, anybody else, really, most of the time, right? They just want a good solid recommendation from somebody that they trust, that the person that they're looking for and that is recommended to them is doing a really good job, right? Yeah. And so that's why I say I was lucky. I caught the attention of Chris because of the work that I did, and then it all went down the line after that. So that's really how it works.
The other interesting thing that you said is, and what I love, and I think, not like Alex Hormozy is big on this, which I think, I disagree with him on a lot of stuff, but I agree with him on certain things. I think he's a genius in terms of marketing. And, you always have to pay respect to people who actually do it, right? Even if you don't agree with their methods or whatever, like he's made it, right? He's big, he's huge, physically and online. But, like the one thing that I get is that, provide value and give stuff like you said you got up to 2.5 million followers before, or a million. I can't remember if you said
A
the million.
million, yeah.
Yeah, a million
Yeah.
before you started monetizing it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind that there's some people that they do the opposite strategy. And
Yes.
I did your strategy as well, with my podcast and my media and stuff. I just give free stuff away. I tell you how to do everything. You can do it yourself. Literally, if you want anything, payment processing related on how to structure your checkout card, how to lower your declines, it's all available for free on my channel. Like I don't charge anybody, but the larger merchants and the businesses and so forth, they don't want to sit there and listen to a whole bunch of YouTube videos, and stuff like that. You either got time or you got money. That's,
exactly.
and
No, that is exactly right.
Right.
Yep.
Like, so when I started my business, I built my own website. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I had $300. So I was like, I'm going to buy a template on Template Monster for $69. I'm going to figure this shit out. Now I'm like, okay, now I can hire a dev. And I like, he's like, well, we should do this. I'm like, I don't care. Just fix it.
Just do it. Yeah.
And then like, I don't, oh, let me show you. No, don't show me. I don't know. So
I don't need something else floating in my brain. Yeah. Like,
it's like,
just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. So the interesting thing, is that you actually provided a lot of value for 1 million people before you made a penny, which to me shows that, number one, you're meant to be successful, because most people are always looking out for the mighty dollar before they even provide any value. So guys listening, especially the newbies and stuff like that, like I made one mistake once. I asked for a content writer on a job board. I will never, ever do that again. Like, it was literally a nightmare. Like, people were like hounding me and stuff. And I'm like, this is not, I can't, I was just like, cause I needed somebody. I was like, oh, let me see. And I was like, why did I do that? My DMs were like, there was like 150 people offering. I was like, I don't, and then when you're harassing people, or when you write hello on DM, like, hello, what? Like, what do you,
what?
What do you want? Like, right? Like, hello, you think I just want to have a random conversation? Business. I have a family. I have people I take care of on a daily. Like, hello, like, give me something. Hi.
Be something. Exactly.
Yeah, anyway, but I mean, that's, like I said, that's a testament of like your success, is that you're willing to wait. And I was talking about Alex Hormozy, just to kind of bring it back. That's one thing Alex says a lot is, give away a lot for free. Give people value before you ask them to buy from you, which is what he did. Like, he was just posting content for like a year and a half with absolute, the famous, I have nothing to sell, but then eventually he did have something to sell.
Yes,
he had followers, right? And people were like, I love him. He gives me all this free stuff and so on and so forth. But it does go a little bit, we're going to bring it back to the Greek roots, because there is a word in Greek that has actually, I don't know if it has a translation. I don't think it has a translation, because I try to translate it for my husband, who's not Greek, and friends that are not Greek, and it's philotimo.
Yes, it's the one word that we can't really translate.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's that desire to be good and correct. Not correct, excuse me, to be good and offer. It gives
kind of like
people,
pay it forward. In some kind of way, and like just do good. And it's funny, because I was like, maybe Greeks are the only ones who have it, because it only exists. This word exists in Greek. Maybe it exists in other languages, but I know it doesn't exist in English, because I was like, I always try. And every translation that I get for it, I'm like, no, that's not it. That's not it.
Quite it.
It's so hard to describe. So, I mean, the fact that you have, a good EQ, and you're able to kind of converse with people, and you're able to give value and so forth. So obviously, guys, you hear I'm a big fan of Gia's. I'll stop the Gia love here. I liked you right away. And I was like, I don't know if it's like the Greek thing, the Canadian thing, the DR thing, but like there's something, right? So
there was definitely something, and that's why we're here. That's why we're here. Yes.
So if we kind of move for like kind of actionable stuff, because people, they want to learn from people like you. You know so much, you transitioned and you learned it by yourself, which is awesome. Like I learned my whole business by myself. I'm a hustler. I was born a hustler. I came out, was ready, like wearing a business suit, ready to go. So it's like, when people ask me, like, was I meant to be successful? I was like, there was no choice. Like, I was gonna do something. I just had to figure it out. So, the fact that you just fell in love and became a social media phenomenon and worked with Chris Haddad is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. It's like, where this come from, and what is my life right now? And that's exactly how it was. But yeah, but it's funny how these things happen. And, you make plans and they say God laughs, right?
Yeah.
And it's because you never know what's going to happen, right? You never know how it's going to happen. And that's why you need to give whatever you do it with everything you got, right?
Yeah.
This was literally the social media thing was literally me being passionate about something. It was a passion project that turned into a career. Be passionate about something, and people say that too. And you probably hear it on many podcasts and webinars. But pursue your passion as a career, and there's truth in that. It doesn't always turn out the way that you want it to, but a lot of the time it does. And you just have to keep going and going and going. And you have to have that patience. Back to the, what you were saying. There are a lot of people that don't have the patience only because they want they want the money, they want the payoff immediately.
Yeah.
And I love payoffs immediately too. Like I'm an eater. I love
I want my
love
money
the
now.
payoff. Let me tell you. Yeah. But I mean, in business, there's a lot of strategy that's at play. So you either want the immediate payoff, which isn't going to happen. It's just not going to happen because you need an audience, first of all. And you need an audience. This is really important. You need an audience that likes you, trusts you, and that you understand. People do business with people they like, trust, and basically the like, know, and trust, right? Really, it's like, know, and trust. So you need to build the relationship. You need to build that relationship so that they trust you enough to say, yes, I'm going to give you my money. Yes. So anyone who's expecting to do anything right away, it's just not going to happen. So, you need to have that patience, but there's also the element that, okay, yes, I had this passion page, but I also had a job, right? And it's going to take a while. And so you either have to be really patient with it and let it go to where it needs to go and put your effort into it, knowing that you may never, ever get anywhere really. But if you do it properly, you will. And that goes for anything in digital marketing. You just have to keep at it. Yeah. Yeah.
And when you hit it, sometimes you hit it big and it's quick, but it takes like 5 years sometimes to hit it that one time that you get it big. But I mean, I think, let's call it the TikTok generation or just instant gratification for things. I think people are forgetting that to get to your level of success, to get to be able to work with the big names and to do all these promos and do all this, it doesn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? No. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of connections and so forth. And then when it does happen, then it just kind of rolls very quickly after that. But it needs you need to crawl before you walk and then kind of go from there. Right. So
for sure,
trust the process, I guess, is what.
And here's the thing too, is that there are a lot of people that are probably listening to this right now who attend webinars, attend training sessions, because, we have that obsession when we first start on in digital marketing and marketing, whatever, online businesses. If we're really, really passionate about it, which a lot of people are, they're going to start digging into every sort of training they can get their hands on. I want to say that bear in mind that the people who are doing the trainings may be very, very knowledgeable, but they're also going to sell you on best case scenarios a lot of the time, right? So, it's just not going to work out that way. When somebody tells you, look, oh my gosh, look at this, this person got like 1 million TikTok followers or even got 1 million TikTok views over the weekend. That's not normal. I mean, people need to know that it's not normal when that happens. So, just don't buy into the hype. Do your thing and do it well, and it'll happen. Yeah.
Well, and also a lot of times, this is something that I caution people with coaches, gurus, or whatever they like to call themselves, is that a lot of the people who you want to learn from, unfortunately, are not available to you because, for example, Chris Haddad did, he did some kind of coaching or whatever. It was short-lived. He's not somebody who's going to do this for 10 years. He's going to do it maybe once and then get bored with it and move on to another project or whatever. Yeah. So the thing is, the people who are not all, there's some good coaches out there, don't get me wrong, but do your due diligence, people who hit 10K in 1 month and then become gurus to show you how to make 10K. I'm like, well, try to reproduce it. When was the last time you made 10K other than selling coaching to make 10K, there has to be proof in the pudding, right? So, I mean, I guess buyer beware for sure. And if you're trying to learn, there's plenty of free content you should get to before you start, plopping down a couple of $1,000, to to different things. But at the same time, obviously if you do your due diligence and you know that somebody has the right information for you, it could help you skip like a ton of steps. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
why not?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think really the lesson here is manage your expectations, right?
Yeah.
You just need to, that's really the message, is manage your expectations, because, what they're, a lot of the time what they're highlighting is best case scenarios. And if somebody is being real with you, they will tell you that this is a best case scenario, and your progress will most likely be slower. And so you just have to keep at it. But yeah, I feel like we're really driving this point home, like with the just stick-to-itiveness and not expecting results, like these big, huge results in zero time. It just doesn't happen. It's rare that it happens.
The one thing, like, just to kind of close the loop on that, is that not everybody's success is the same. Not
That's
everybody
right.
has to make $20 million. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I have the analogy of like actors. So, there's the Hollywood actors that make millions of dollars and do all kinds of stuff, but there's tons of kind of smaller actors that make a living doing what they love to do.
Yeah.
And, they may not be rich and famous, but they make whatever they need to make to live, and they're doing something they love. So maybe you can be, let's say in social media, maybe you're not making, $5 million a year, but maybe you're making enough to replace a salary, which is pretty good. You know what I mean? Because you're doing what you love to do and you're getting paid for it. So like, maybe it doesn't have to go beyond that, right? Not everybody's meant to have huge businesses and so forth. So
no, exactly. And I think that's where most people are, actually. I think most people are just, even like content creators, influencers, and business owners who have products, or they're affiliate marketers. I don't think they're looking, well, I mean, everybody loves $1 million, right? I mean, what can you, I'm going to tell you're going to say like, nah, I don't want $1 million. I don't want $1 million.
I don't want it.
I'm all good. I'm all good.
For sure.
I think most people, their goals are really just to even replace their salary job, right? So if you can make like even 50,000 a year, people can make 100,000 a year. It's like a dream to be able to make $100,000 a year. It's a dream to add $1,000 to your income every month through affiliate marketing, right? I mean, most people would be extraordinarily happy with that, and it's great. So that's the thing, is that like you're right. One person's success is not the same. For me at the time, success was like, shit, I just made $100. I just made $100, and I was really happy about it. I really was. And it just grew from there. And then my expectation grew. But the fact that I was able to then turn that into being able to live comfortably each month, really was the whole goal. I was never like, okay, I need to make millions of dollars doing this. I don't. And that's where most people are, I think. Yeah.
So let me ask you a little bit of a tactical question so we can dig into your brain. So, social media marketing, affiliate marketing, and affiliate management. So social media, marketing and affiliate marketing a little bit go hand in hand, right? Because you could be on social media promoting products and making some money, and everybody's on social media, and you don't have to be an influencer to say, I really like this hair product, and you put up a link up there and then you get, a couple of bucks. So, if you're wasting your time on social media scrolling endlessly, like at least make a little bit of money, and tell people stuff you like. Like if you're a busy mom, well, tell people what helps you, manage your schedule or whatever, and something they can buy, right? So I'm just curious, like going from social media, like why did you make that transition? And what are the key differences between, social media management versus affiliate management?
Right. Okay. So really they're both in the traffic space, right? So social media management for me was my wheelhouse for 9 years. I mean, that's what I was doing, almost 10 years. That's what I was doing. I was doing it well. The landscape changed tremendously from when I started to the time that I just said, okay, it's time for me to move to something else. Because first of all, I wanted a new challenge. I really did. It was like, it felt like after 10 years, I just needed to do something different. But there were also challenges as a social media manager. Wanted to make, and I'm just going to be really blunt about it. I wanted to make top dollar as a social media manager, director. And the clients that I worked with were amazing. They were amazing, and they paid me well. And what I felt was that when I, because I've always been an organic specialist. What I was finding was that it was becoming so almost impossible to get organic traffic on social media platforms anymore, unless there was a lot of resources thrown at it. So when I had conversations with my clients, I was saying things like, what kind of a budget do you have? Content creation, because we're living in a social media world right now where everything is a video. Everything's a video, and we need a lot of videos. We need your face, because influencer marketing is what's driving social media right now and social media marketing. What kind of time do you have to be on the camera and give us some clips? Because the old memes aren't going to do it anymore, my friend.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. And so what I was running into was that the business owners and the faces of the companies were not available. I mean, Chris was amazing because he would just he hates making social media content with a big fiery passion, but he was doing it. He was doing it. We were getting the videos out there. They were really good videos. They were very helpful. But even when you have all the right ingredients and stir them all up in a soup, you don't always get the result, right? Yeah. So it takes time. It takes time to get your engagement up, to get the algorithms working on your side. Right now it's an organic nightmare on social media. Okay. When you'll even see accounts that have some videos that go viral, for example, and then you'll look at all their other content and there's 2 likes, 1 like, and then there's one with 1 million
Welcome
likes.
to my world.
Yeah. And that's the problem, is that even when you have content that's really fantastic and people are really resonating with, the algorithm needs to see it over and over and over and over again in order to give you exposure. And even when that happens at this point, you're still struggling to get the views, only because your posts might be they might be shown to more people than anyone else, but you're still only getting a little small fraction of it. So it was clients. What kind of budget do you have? What kind of opportunities do you have to create content? How much do you want to be in front of the camera? These are all elements that, first of all, cost a lot of money, and secondly, cost them a lot of time. And so, all in all, the budget then became enormous for the client, without really knowing for sure if they can get a lot of results, right? So, just me thinking it through, I'm like, okay, I'm done. There's a billion people right now on social media, as influencers. It's just you log into social now, and it's like your head spins. You don't know where to look first. You don't know what to do. It's outrageous. It's become crazy. Yeah. So I wanted to stop the insanity, like Susan Powter said. And you remember the 90s, Susan Powter? Susan Powter, she was like this. Yeah. She was like, stop the insanity. I just decided to stop the insanity. So there was an opportunity where I was working with somebody really amazing. It was Brian Baisley from The Art of Anti-Aging. He's incredible business owner, doing amazing things in the health niche. But we had just decided that we were going to part ways. And I was talking with Manny. I was telling him what was going on, and we would have our chats. And he basically was looking for someone to replace him. And those are really, 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 really big shoes to fill, because he has been in the space for years and years and years, and has all the connections, and he has all the experience, and he's just like gold standard. Yes. So, like Manny, I've worked in I've worked with affiliate managers before in the marketing departments. I was in social, they're an affiliate. There is a crossing over with the 2 departments, of course, because of the traffic. And do you think I'd be okay doing that? He's like, let's go. And that's how I made that transition. So It was like, I need something new. Yeah, I need something new. And it was the best move I've ever made for me. Right?
And the social media, like you said, you need to throw money at it now, even to do sponsored ads and get it to convert and so forth. So it does get harder, and it's harder to scale, I think. And I think social media management right now is just it's not as high paying, obviously, as affiliate management, because you just have to keep going and going and going and going, maybe sometimes for years, providing content before you actually see, something hit it big or go viral or something like that. So I was going to ask, what is, social media is one traffic source, but what is your favorite traffic source right now? I mean, the kid on on the block that everybody talks about is email. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts in terms of like, if I'm an affiliate manager, so I'm going to ask you a double question here. So the first question is, I'm an affiliate manager. Should I focus on one traffic source? Number one. And then number two, what's your favorite traffic sources and why?
Right. So, I mean, the main traffic source, obviously, in affiliate management is email, of course. The problem with email, and I mean, obviously, email is still the number one. You're never, if I don't think email's ever going to be like a secondary source, but you never know. However, there are issues with email, but what we're seeing now and what we're going to be seeing trends in moving forward in affiliate management is expanding out into different platforms. And really, essentially, I think this is what is the question that you're asking me. We are all still kind of stuck in email, right? We are very much stuck in email and big email is because no other traffic converts like email traffic. And that still stands true today.
Okay.
Where we're headed though, because there's a limitation with email traffic. And what we find in affiliate management is when we are, when we're working with our partners, if you're in a certain space, like I work mostly in the health niche, right? So with our partner, I also work with our top partners. I manage top partners. And when we have these conversations between us of exchanging leads and exchanging traffic and supporting each other, what ends up happening is that we're exchanging the same traffic over and over and over again. I'm sending it to you, you're sending it to me, sending it to you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you can do a launch, and I'm not being very specific here to anybody or anything, but you could do a launch. And, for example, 100,000 leads may come in for your launch, and only like 40,000 will be unique that are not already in your system. So that's a big, big, big problem, right? It's become like this incestuous thing where we're passing these back and forth. It's like, okay, sister, we need to chill it out, and we need to go get more traffic here for other sources. So this is the riddle that we're really trying to answer in the affiliate marketing space is, where are we going to get more traffic? It's always, where are we going to get more traffic? Where are we going to get new traffic? What we're seeing and where we're starting to shift at this point is into influencer marketing. There are a lot of influencers out there of many, many, many sizes. And so I think what we're going to be seeing moving forward is either, number one, different models for paying affiliates for their leads, and especially for their unique leads. For example, you can offer them guarantees, especially if you're looking to lead generate like a guaranteed payout, like as though it's a cold traffic lead where you're doing a Facebook ad, for example. You pay your affiliate a certain EPL that, like, so you pay them $2. Like, $2
just
a lead,
to give you the name, like just to give you the customer, not necessarily for any sale.
Exactly. So instead of saying, okay, let's just support each other, let's go really hard for each other. I love you. Let's do it. We love each other. Let's support the hell out of each other. And even though there's some accounting and balancing of books in terms of leads going back and forth, it's really just one of those reciprocal relationships. Then there's also the, let me guarantee you that I'm going to pay you $2 for every lead that you send me, especially if it's a unique lead, right? We want unique leads. So every unique lead you send me, I'm going to pay you $2 for it, as though I've gone to Google or Facebook and I paid for that lead there. But at least I know the lead that's on your list is a highly targeted lead. And so I'm going to pay you the money instead so that I can get the lead in my system. And then I work with that lead, nurture it, and the lifetime value of that lead is going to be X for me, for example. And then there's also just expanding into different verticals, for example, that may not ever make sense, but they do. For example, a client in the health niche, because I knew Chris is then affiliate manager, Chris Haddad's then affiliate manager, because I'm managing for him now. Amanda, shout out to you too, girl. She's like, oh, will you set some traffic? I'm like, this is not going to work on a help list. It's not going to work on a help list. And she's like, we talked about it. I'm like, okay, I love you. I'm going to do this for you. I had to really sell it to the team over and over and over again, but we did it. And it was our best, it was one of our best third-party offers that we ever promoted on the help list. It was a relationship product. So you never know what vertical you'll be able to play well in right?
Well, I mean, just to kind of interject there, the thing is,
Yeah.
like, people are multifaceted, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
like, if somebody's really interested in their health, for example, maybe it's because they want to look good because they want to date. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
you kind of have
Yeah.
to take it that way.
Yeah.
Like, for
Yeah.
example,
Absolutely.
I like talking about so many things, and I like, for example, I like, I'm obsessed with hair. Like, every woman has their, like, some women's shoes. I'm like obsessed with hair products. What can I do to my hair? I had my,
Your hair looks damn good, girl. I'm
thank you,
just going
thank
to
you.
tell you.
I actually, like, I lost a lot of it when I had my son, which happens,
Really?
a
Yeah.
lot after
Yeah.
pregnant. And it was like devastating to me. It was worse than anything else that had ever happened. I was like, oh my God, like my hair is falling out. So, that maybe if I'm on a health list for hair, that doesn't mean that's the only thing I would want, right? It might be
Right.
that,
Yeah.
like, well, now I'm a mom. Okay, so now maybe there's something there. And then, so it's important to
Yep.
segment your list properly, right? Like, and make sure
Absolutely.
that you know as much as you can. So I love that idea, and putting it into practice is paying for unique leads, because you did say a word that I'm going to repeat: incestuous. Like, people are trading the same fucking
Yeah.
leads over and over. And it's like,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing with me. I have a couple of resellers, and like 5 people are sending me the same lead, and I feel bad, but I'm like, listen, I already got this lead. I've been working
Yeah.
with them, and so it's a matter of kind of opening up your horizon, your network, and so forth. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
I'm curious, you seem to, you obviously know what's happening in the affiliate marketing space. And I'm curious, the new kid on the block, or actually it's not new. AI is not new. It's taking over. But I'm curious, what are some things that maybe some affiliate marketers or affiliate managers can use with AI? Like, can
Yeah.
they use it for content? Can they use it to make something faster? Like, how would you use AI, or how are you using AI right now in your day to day?
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, AI, I think like I haven't actually implemented a ton of AI yet. My husband, who works, we work together. He's the one that's fiddling more with AI than I am. What I can tell you is that I'm not totally like sold on AI, only because I am sold on AI, but for specific reasons, right? Where I use it the most personally is in getting ideas for emails and email broadcasts, right? Because we want to be communicating with our affiliates, um, not as much as possible. I'm not going to say that because you don't want to inundate them, and it depending on whether you're in launch or not. But just getting ideas as to how to speak with affiliates
Yeah.
in slightly different ways, get them excited. Strategically, when you're trying to, you're getting into a launch and you want things to be more exciting and so on. It's a good writing tool where I actually don't like, I just plug something into AI, it spits it out for me, and then I adjust it. I would never, I mean, I've learned this from 10 years in social media, and the fact that Facebook will penalize you greatly if you use anything but original language.
Yeah.
So I never, ever take anything anymore and, copy it from AI, for example, and then plug it into an email and press the send button ever. What you want to be doing is building a relationship with your affiliates, your partners, so that you're speaking in your own voice, but AI can help me with ideas. So
Okay.
that's where I'm using it the most. There are probably other ways to use it that I'm just not completely familiar with, and maybe not. I think it would be more in terms of maybe reporting. I know that there are strategies coming out for affiliate managers, and how they can use AI. I'm not personally familiar with it yet. So I'm kind of a boo-boo. Kind of sucked
Well,
at this portion
I would
of
say,
the interview.
no, I mean, you're doing something that works. And sometimes we need the universe to push us into another direction, like which happened with
Yeah.
social media. Maybe in a year from now, you're going to be like, hey, I'm falling behind.
Yeah.
What is it? Is because I haven't implemented this. So, sometimes it's just, when something's
Yeah.
working, double down, triple down, and then when it stops working, be quick to pivot. Let's go
Absolutely.
way.
Yep. I need somebody to show me. You see, this is the thing, is that I'm not going to change my system unless somebody shows me that this is how it can be useful to me. So I have yet to see something that has been extremely useful that I can use, because believe me, if we can use AI to make our job easier, I'm 100% in.
Yeah.
I just don't like, I have not seen anything, and I've not spoken with anybody who is in our space and doing our job, that has something that's so great that comes with AI that has made our job easier.
Okay.
So I'm sure that something will come. It's just that I haven't seen anything yet. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
idea gen is already a big
Yeah.
thing, right? You can
Yeah.
spit out like 20 ideas, read them through instead of researching. So I think
Yeah.
cutting your research time, giving you new ideas, bringing that up. So I think that's already a great start,
Yeah.
right, to
Yeah.
using it. Now, in closing, I know there's a lot of people listening that are kind of in different niches of direct response and maybe newer, trying to get in. So I just want to ask you your advice, because you've had 9 lives or 7 lives, and you're going to be adding some more, I'm sure. What's the advice that you would give to somebody that is trying to enter the affiliate marketing space, doesn't know where to start, and is kind of like, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
give me let's go high level, like a couple of things, like 2 things that you would do.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, because I actually had a conversation with somebody yesterday about this who is just trying to enter the affiliate marketing space. So, somebody who does not have a product, for example, do you mean somebody who doesn't already have a product? They just want to
They
promote?
just want to be an affiliate marketer.
They just want to be an affiliate marketer?
Yes.
So, I mean, for these people, I think the most important thing is, number one, gain the trust of your audience and build your audience first and gain their trust. We already talked about this, right? We talked about this with the whole audience thing and how long it takes.
Yeah.
So that's the most essential thing. Number 2 is choosing properly aligned offers and good converting offers. And we're all looking for something that is going to make us money, but somebody who's a newbie, because I've been the newbie, somebody who's a newbie is just going to take a look at offers and they're going to be like, okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. That doesn't really sound good. When I had my first experience as an affiliate marketer, when I went to promote an affiliate product, I clicked into a VSL and I was clutching my fucking pearls, listening to what they were saying. I was like, I'm gonna buy this shit. Like, I don't understand who would ever buy this because of the VSL. It was so outrageous. It was so outrageous what they were saying on the VSL that I did not ever think that anyone would take it seriously.
Yeah.
It was one of the highest converting products, not just for me, but in the niche.
Wow.
You need to do your research, right? If you really want to build a business rather than just have one of these like one-off sale. You need to really do your research on what products are going to align best with your audience. And this is something that really affiliate marketers need to be doing all the time, right? Yeah. Whenever you choose a product, you need to make sure that it's right on target. What happens is that when you already have an audience that may trust you, may not trust you, they're already weary of all the scamming that happens online and with marketing, and they're already kind of like suspicious. Even especially if you haven't built that relationship with them, is they're going to be on your email list. They're going to receive an offer. If it's aligned with them, they may actually trust you more. They may buy it. If it's not aligned with them, you may actually lose them completely. You will lose your opportunity with them. You will lose their trust, and they will draw. So you really have to be careful with what you're choosing. If you're not an offer owner, right? Especially if you're not an offer owner, make sure you choose well. And beyond that, the best thing to do is surround your sales, your whatever offer you're trying to sell, with really great content. And that was the secret sauce for me. It is still the secret sauce today. And then one of the other things is getting in front of the camera. So I think there was like three or four, but getting in front of the camera.
We're going to create, don't be afraid to record yourself. I felt like a dweeb when I started, and people now are like, oh, Maria, we love your content, stuff like that. Yeah. Like, it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of, you can't just start. Your first video is going to suck. Your 50th video is going to suck. Yeah. So just keep trying. I guess I think that's a good way to end the episode, guys. It's just what Gia has kind of taught us. Just keep trying. Just keep going. Yeah. And don't give up, right? So
pursue your passion. Make sure you're passionate. Yeah, you want to be passionate about what you're doing, and don't ever forget. And not just don't forget, put at the top of your list that you need to build your relationships. Right? You need to build relationships, and whether that's with your list or whether it's with other affiliate managers or with offer owners, or you need to create your network. And this is how you and I met. because Renan is nurturing his network like mad. Like he's just crazy, the crazy connector. And so that it makes a huge difference in getting connected and staying connected and keep connecting with new people and more and more and more new people and nurturing these relationships. So big deal. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Gia, I thank you so much, guys. I know you're going to have a huge list of things to do and a lot of things to think about on a personal level and how you're managing your relationships and your business, because it all kind of ties in. So, Gia, you've been very generous with your time.
Thank you
so much. And this was an awesome interview. Guys, look down below for Gia's contact information or drop me a line and I'll get you in touch with Gia if you need any more advice on affiliate management and maybe social media marketing if she's willing to be nice.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you, Gia.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I appreciate all the value that you bring to your listeners too. So thanks so much. We'll talk soon.